One day, the hungry dog was nosing about the farm. He liked to poke his nose into everything, sniffing around here and there. He sniffed in the barn, he sniffed in the shed, he sniffed in the bedroom and in the kitchen. "Are you underfoot again?" asked the lady cook. "Get out of here!" But the dog just sat on the floor and panted happily. "Can't you see? I can't make dinner while you are around," said the lady cook. The dog just barked. Finally, the lady cook gave the dog a piece of meat bone and pushed him out of the kitchen. There was a hill not far from the house that would be the perfect place to bury the bone. So, off the dog trotted down the road. He came to the bridge and happened to look down into the stream. What did he see? But another dog staring back at him. Now, you and I know it was just his shadow, but the dog thought it was another dog. And this dog has a bone even bigger than his own bone. "Give me that bone!" the dog barked, jumping into the stream. He attacked the other dog fiercely to get the second bone. But as soon as he barked and bit at the other dog, his own bone fell from his mouth and dropped into the stream, where it was quickly washed away. It took some time for the dog to notice that his treasure was gone, because he was so busy attacking the other dog. Eventually, however, it began to dawn on him that he was fighting up a storm, but not coming any closer to winning. So, he climbed back up on shore and shook himself off. When he realized his bone was gone, he climbed back on the bridge and looked down at the other dog. The other dog's bone was gone too. He trotted back to the farmhouse, but the lady cook had locked the door and ignored his howls. Sometimes the dog thought it is better to be satisfied with what you have and not to chase after shadows. The Fox and the Crow. Once a crow stole a piece of meat. She went and sat on the tree to enjoy the piece of meat. Just then a fox passed from below the tree. He happened to see the crow with the piece of meat. "Oh, Miss Crow, you are such a pretty bird that it is a pleasure to watch you. Only if I had the pleasure of hearing your voice, would I be able to say to the others that I have heard the Queen of Birds sing," said the fox to the crow. The crow was so happy that somebody thought that she was so pretty. Eager to be called the Queen of Birds, the crow gave a loud caw, and out fell the piece of meat. The fox picked up the piece of meat and hurriedly gulped it down. The crow felt sad that it had lost its piece of meat to the clever fox. Moral: do not trust flatterers. Once upon a time, there was a wolf and a house dog. The wolf was lean and his ribs were almost sticking through his skins, and he was half starved as he could not find enough food for himself. On the other hand, the house dog happens to be plump and well fed. One night, the moon was shining very brightly, and the wolf chanced to meet the dog. On seeing the plump dog, the lean wolf inquired, "Dear cousin dog, how come you you lead such an irregular life?" "Dear wolf," said the house dog, "why don't you work as steadily as I do?" "I would love to do so only if I could get a place," replied the wolf. "I can help you then," said the dog. "Gladly," said the wolf. "There is nothing like having a roof over one's head and a bellyful of victuals always at hand. Follow me, dear wolf, and we shall have a good time," said the dog. As they were on their way to the master's house, the wolf noticed a mark on the dog's neck. Out of curiosity, it asked the dog about the mark. "Oh, that, nothing," replied the dog. "Perhaps my collar was a little tight." To this, the wolf again asked, "What kind of collar, dear cousin?" "The collar to which my chain is fastened," replied the dog. "Chain?" cried the wolf in surprise. "You don't mean to tell me that you are not free to move where you please?" The dog, somewhat ashamed, replied, "Why, not exactly. You see, my master thinks that I am a bit fierce, so he ties me up in the daytime. But he lets me free at night, so that it is convenient for everybody. I get plenty of sleep during the day and guard the house at night. Everyone in the house likes me a lot. My master feeds me off his own plate, and the servants are continually offering me handouts from the kitchen." As he completed his words, he realized that the wolf was going away. Then he called out, "Wait! Where are you going?" "Good night to you, my poor friend," said the wolf. "You are welcome to your dainties and your chains. As for me, I prefer my freedom to your fat." And the wolf started back toward the forest. Lean freedom is better than fat slavery.